If someone is always busy, always overwhelmed, and always behind, the question is not automatically, are they working hard? Sometimes the better question is, what is making the work so unclear? Because in the workplace, busy it's easy to see. Someone all answering emails all day looks busy. Someone running from meeting to meeting looks busy. Someone constantly saying, I'm slammed looks busy. But busy and effective are not the same thing. Busy tells me there is activity. Effective tells me there is impact. And from an HR and management perspective, that distinction matters. HR usually does not get pulled into a situation just because someone had a full calendar. HR gets pulled in when the busyness starts creating people problems. Deadlines keep getting missed. Follow-ups keep falling through. Employees are confused about priorities. Managers are frustrated because expectations are not being met. Good employees are quietly carrying the weight. And the explanation becomes, well, everyone is just busy. That may be true, but that may not be enough. Because busy performance is not actually good performance. It may be a sign of high workload, unclear expectations, poor systems. It may be a sign of weak follow-through from management's perspective. And this is where HR is going to look deeper. It's not to blame people, it's to diagnose the issue correctly. And to be fair, the modern workday, it is fragmented. People are getting hit from every direction. Emails, meetings, messages, notifications, quick questions, last-minute changes, random fires that somehow become urgent. Microsoft's Trend Index found that some employees are interrupted, on average, every 2 minutes during core work hours by meetings, emails, or chats. So yes, people are busy. That part is absolutely real. But that is exactly why managers have to be more intentional about priorities, not less. Because when everything feels urgent, people stop knowing what actually matters. And when people do not know what actually matters, they start confusing motion with progress. And this is where chaos starts. Not because people are not doing anything, but because everyone is doing something, and nobody is clear on what should matter most. This is where HR has to slow the conversation down, because they are not getting it done is not enough, and I am too busy is not going to work either. Both can be true, but both can also be incomplete. The better question, what kind of problem are we actually dealing with? Is this a capacity issue? Is this person truly carrying too much? Is this a systems issue? Are we making simple work harder than it needs to be? Is it a management issue? Did leadership fail to clarify expectations? Or is it a performance issue? Does the employee struggle with prioritization, communication, and follow-through? Those are all very different problems. They all require different responses. That is the HR value. Not just jumping straight to discipline, not just accepting I'm busy as the final answer, but helping the organization separate workload, leadership, process, and performance before it makes the wrong decision. If you diagnose the wrong problem, you create the wrong solution. One of the most basic things an employee needs is clarity. What am I responsible for? What matters most? What does success look like? What should I do when everything cannot be done at once? Gallup's Q12 research has long connected employee engagement to business outcomes, and one of their core engagement questions is whether employees know what is expected of them at work. Gallup's 2024 Q12 meta-analysis reviewed data from more than 180,000 teams and found employee engagement is connected to performance outcomes across organizations. That matters because unclear expectations do not just frustrate employees. They They muddy accountability, they make performance harder to evaluate. They give managers less confidence, they make employees feel like the target keeps moving, and then people just start working harder and just to feel like things are harder to keep up. That is obviously not sustainable and it is not good management. Sometimes people are not failing because they are lazy. Sometimes people are working hard inside a system that never clearly told them what winning looks like. That is a leadership issue, and HR should be willing to say that. Managers also have to be careful about what they reward. If you reward the person who looks the most exhausted, you may accidentally teach them that exhaustion is the standard. If the person who is always frantic gets praised for doing so much, but the calm, consistent employee gets overlooked because they make their work look easy, you are sending the wrong message. That is how you create workplace theater. More emails, more meetings, more just circling back. People trying to prove that they are working instead of having the clarity to do the work that matters. Asana's Anatomy of a Work research describes this as work about work. The meetings, status updates, searching for information, coordination around the actual work. The research has found that knowledge workers can spend a large share of their time on this type of work instead of skilled or strategic work. That should be a wake-up call, because if your team is drowning in activity but not producing better outcomes, the answer is not push harder. The answer is clarify the priority, remove the unnecessary step, define ownership, set the deadline, give the employee authority to make the decision, train the manager, fix the process, then hold people accountable to the outcome. That is constructive accountability. Not blame, not shame, not work harder. Constructive accountability means we are honest about the gap, but we are also honest about what may be causing it. This is where I think a lot of workplaces miss it. They act like accountability and support are opposites. They're not. Good HR should be able to say that. This employee may need support. The process may need to be fixed. This manager may need to communicate better. The performance gap still needs to be addressed. All of those things can be true at the same time. Prim's performance management guidance emphasizes that effective performance management is an ongoing process involving clear goals, regular feedback, coaching, and tracking progress. It's not just your annual review. That is the point. Performance should not be a surprise. Accountability should not only show up when everyone is frustrated. And support should not mean avoiding the hard conversation. HR's role is to bring that structure to that conversation. Was it expected? Clearly communicated? Does the employee have the tools to succeed? Feedback provided? Any documented issues? Are we applying the standard consistently? This is how you keep the conversation objective. And that is how you protect both the employee and the organization. For employees, the takeaway is this. Do not just say, I'm busy. Say, hey, here's what I'm prioritizing. Here's what I need to complete. Here's what is blocked. Here's the decision I need. Here's what will be delayed unless it becomes a priority. That changes the conversation. It turns busyness into clarity. For managers, the takeaway is this. Stop asking who looks the busiest. Start asking better questions. Who is creating clarity? Who is following through? Who is reducing repeat problems? Who is making the team stronger? Who needs clearer direction? And yes, who needs accountability? A healthy workplace should not require people to constantly prove they are overwhelmed to be seen as valuable. Busy is not a performance metric. Impact is, and HR can help leaders tell that difference. Well, that's the insight for today. If you found something valuable here, stick around. And if your workplace needs valuable HR support, I'll have my website linked below. I'll see you in the next one.